Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video. And today we're going to be looking at the film Titanic and the couple of versions that I've got. First up, I've got a VHS box set. Came out back in the day. This is a really nice set I picked up earlier this year. Thought I'd show it in a video, so we'll have a look at that. And also I've got the Blu-ray 3D version. This is a German Steelbook, so we'll have a look at this as well. So what I'll do is I'll talk a bit about the film, give you some information, a little bit of trivia, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the 3D Blu-ray. I'm not going to talk about the VHS quality because I do have a VHS player, but I'm not going to put that in. And, you know, we all know that VHS wasn't the best really. But I'll show you the edition and what's included in it. But yeah, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the film. You know, it like a little mini movie review, shall we say, on it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Titanic came out in 1997 and it was a certificate 12 in the UK. It's a romance stroke drama based on true events, and it ran for 3 hours and 14 minutes. Just to give you a brief summary of the film, 17-year-old Rose hails from an aristocratic family and is set to be married. When she boards the Titanic, she meets Jack Dawson, an artist, and falls in love with him. The release date in the UK was the 23rd of January 1998, and it was directed by James Cameron. The feature title song was called My Heart Will Go On. The budget was $200 million US, and the box office took $2.202 billion. So this was a runaway hit, and no surprises there. This was distributed by Paramount Pictures and 20th Century Studios. Cast included Kate Winslet as Rose, Leonardo DiCaprio as Jack Dawson, Billy Zane as Caldon, Bill Paxton as Brooke Lovett, Gloria Stewart played the elderly Rose, Frances Fisher, Ruth DeWitt, Kathy Bates, Margaret Brown, David Warner, Spicer Lovejoy, Bernard Hill as Capitino, or Captain, Susie Amos Cameron, Lizzie Calvert. Okay, so trivia time. At around 2 hours and 30 minutes, the elderly couple seen hugging on the bed while water floods their room were the owners of Macy's department store in New York. Rosalie Ida Strauss and Isidore Strauss, both of whom died on the Titanic. Ida was offered a seat on the lifeboat but refused, so she could stay with her husband, saying, "As we have lived together, so we shall die together." There was a scene filmed that depicted this moment but was cut from the final version. It was Mrs. Strauss who originally said, "Where you go, I go," that inspired Rose's same line in the film. After finding out that she had to be naked in front of Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet decided to break ice, and when they first met, she flashed him. The scenes set in 1912, i.e. the whole movie except the present-day scenes and the opening and ending credits, have a total length of 2 hours and 40 minutes, the exact time it took the Titanic to sink. Also, the collision with the iceberg reportedly lasted 37 seconds, which is how long the collision scene is in the movie. James Cameron went on 12 dives to the real Titanic himself and found it an overwhelming emotional experience to actually see the sunken ship. During his first trip, he was so goal-orientated that he managed to film the shots he wanted, but as soon as he was back on the surface, he broke down in tears after finally realising the magnitude of the historic tragedy that he had just witnessed he ended up spending more time with the ship than its living passengers did. Reportedly, James Cameron spoke to and personally provided each of the extras, at least 150 of them, with the names and backstories of the Titanic passengers. A recent investigation showed that if the Titanic had hit the iceberg head-on, she would have survived. Though damaged, she would not have sunk and would have reached New York maybe a day or two late. Right, so on to the editions. So we'll look at the VHS edition first, and then we'll come on to the Blu-ray. It's got the 3D version on, and I'll talk a little bit about the picture and sound quality on this one. Okay, so this came in a wonderful presentation box. Now, Titanic was widely released on VHS back in the day, and to be honest, if you frequent car boot sales and charity shops, you'll probably find a VHS of Titanic sort of, you know, quite readily available, to be honest. Yeah, as I say, it was such a massive hit that you know, this really was done sort of produced in large numbers. But anyway, this was a nice box set that I managed to pick up on eBay. And I really like the front image here. You've got the two main characters, the Titanic ship, and you've got some wonderful embossing on the actual title here. And again, we can see here, winner of 11 Academy Awards. You know, it just, you know, it was a fantastic part of motion picture history. If we turn it on the side, again, there's sort of embossing on here. Same on that side. And then if we turn it on the back, and again, if you want to pause and read, you get some wonderful extras in this edition. And, you know, at the time, this was kind of like sort of a, you know, state-of-the-art box set that we would have got back in the VHS days. You can see down here, digitally THX mastered, Dolby Surround. You know, this was like, you know, your sort of 4Ks that you get these days, you know, the equivalent of. So we'll open him up and we'll take a look inside. So we'll open it at the top, and then straight away we get in the back of the top of the fold out. What a wonderful image there, nighttime scene of the Titanic. You know, you got the sunset at the back, and again, you know, they just don't produce editions like this. Well, they do, they're premium editions, but you know, you're talking a lot of money for this kind of thing. But you know, I mean, I'll pick this up for £3 or £4 on eBay, you know, and to, you know, open this up and to be presented with this straight away, it's, you know, it's just fantastic. So we get some art cards in here, so I'll get those out in a minute. And then we also get this film cell. And then in the bottom, you've got your typical VHS. Nothing pretty special about that. Just the standard tape that sits housed inside. And yeah, you know, this would have been obviously the cassette that we would have put in the VHSs back in the day. And so onto the film cell. Now, again, you've got some nice images on here. I don't know whether it's sort of showing up in the camera, but it's kind of Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. They're kind of dressed up for dinner. So yeah, there's about 5 images on there. Turn it round. Now, this doesn't actually have a number on it, I don't think. No, but I'm guessing this probably was a limited edition at the time. And we get like kind of wax paper sort of envelope style with some art cards. So we'll get those out and have a look. Okay, so the first thing, now this wasn't actually part of the set, but I actually picked this up on eBay. I think it was about £1, to be honest. It's just poster art, really. This would have been, you know, used to promote the film. So yeah, I just popped that in with the set. And then we get these really nice art cards. We'll see, you know, when the ship is sinking, they're lowering the lifeboats. Nothing on the back of these, but yeah, really nice. That one there. This would have been Rose, obviously when she was 100 years old. This is obviously set, you know, in modern day, and you can see it's sort of a behind the scenes. You know, you got James Cameron there filming the scene. You know, again, wonderful costumes, you know, of that period. So much effort's gone into creating that, you know, sort of time in history. Quite a young Kate Winslet. And then the final postcard is this one. And onto the Blu-ray Steelbook. Obviously this contains the 3D edition. So we've got a nice lenticular on the front there. Two main characters at the front of the ship. There's a little bit of depth to this, a little bit of movement. Take the magnet off. So the same image on the back, just obviously with you know, the Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, and the director James Cameron. It's obviously telling you down here in German that it was a winner of 11 Oscars. A little bit of shame that's there, really, but you know, what can you do? There's the spine, so it's telling you it's 3D. And then on the back, now, this is a lenticular magnet that I had produced. Found the design online, and there's a seller on eBay who produces these magnets, non-lenticular. And yeah, I really like this image. It sort of, you know, has all the different characters from the film. And I had a spare one of these, and I actually sent it to AJ's movie place. There's a bit of a mix-up with this. When I bought this, it got lost in the post, and I then had to get a new one, and then the original one then turned up in the post. The seller hadn't put enough postage on it. So yeah, I in effect I had two copies, so I decided to send one AJ's way. So if I take that off, you can see it's one of these steelbooks where it's printed text. So you've obviously got the text specs on the back, and obviously all of this is in German. So you can see why I kind of, you know, decided to get a magnet to sort of cover all of this up. Yeah, this is obviously one of the earlier sort of steelbooks, you know, when they were doing this kind of thing. But you got some nice images on the steelbook here. And again, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of rusting going on with this steelbook, all these little black marks, which, yeah, is a real shame. But again, you know, with the magnet on there, it covers it up, so it's not a big deal. So we'll open it up, and we actually get the 3D discs split over 2 discs. So if I take that out, you've got the Titanic behind, and then this is actually on a flipper. So then you've actually got the Blu-ray, which is on 1 disc, and then there's a special features disc there as well. So if I take that out, you get the other side of the Titanic ship. There we go. You can kind of make out the image on the inside there. So yeah, interesting to see 3D presentation split over 2 discs. But it's a long film. But yeah, we're going to come on to the picture and sound quality next. So I'm mainly going to be talking about the 3D presentation on this. As I say, it's split over 2 discs, but wow, this is fantastic. Obviously, this was a post-conversion 3D. It wasn't shot with 3D cameras. I know, obviously, James Cameron is a big kind of pioneer of 3D, obviously, with Avatar. And he wanted, I think, as a commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic, he wanted to produce a 3D version of this, and it's absolutely fantastic. The level of depth in this is unreal. You've got, you know, images of the inside of the ship, corridors. You know, I mean, the level of detail that went into reproducing the Titanic, you know, they obviously got it from photographs and drawings. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. There's so much depth to this. Even when the Titanic is going down, you get sort of shots looking down into the water. It's kind of like that, almost trying to give you the experience of almost like being there. I mean, it must have been terrifying for the passengers at the time, but yeah, this gives you a real sense of sort of inclusion and feeling like you're part of what was happening. It's just fantastic. It's a shame in some ways that it's split over the 2 discs, because obviously you get to a certain point and then you have to sort of switch the disc out. But you know, with a film of this length, the amount of data that's on the disc, you know, it would have to be, you know, an incredible size disc to get it all on one disc. So yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I was absolutely blown away with the 3D conversion on this. You know, it's, if you enjoy 3D and you've got, you know, 3D capable equipment, I would highly recommend picking up Titanic in 3D, because for me personally, I think it's the best, you know, way of watching it. I don't think there's a 4K of this. Whether, again, James Cameron's a bit reluctant to release much 4K stuff. I know he's done Terminator 2. But yeah, everything else, I mean, even some things aren't even on Blu-ray, i.e. The Abyss. But no, this was fantastic. It was, you know, so well done. You know, you'd have thought it was filmed with the 3D cameras, you know, and certainly with 3D in mind. And I'm sure probably Cameron, you know, even back when he shot this was before Avatar, you know, because of his love of film and in direction, you know, he knows what he's doing. So he probably had kind of like a 3D visualization in his mind, maybe, but yeah. And on to the sound, yeah, I mean, it's a great mix. You know, it's a DTS Master Audio mix. Again, I think an Atmos or a DTS-X remaster of this would be fantastic. You know, you get certainly when the ship is going down, you get all the groans of the you know, the metal contracting and expanding. Yeah, fantastic. You know, I mean, there's not probably a lot of explosions and all this kind of thing going on, but certainly when, you know, it really comes in when the ship is sinking. You know, you've got a lot of the film is sort of heavy in dialogue, but yeah, it's a great mix. You know, you won't be disappointed with the mix on this. Just final thoughts on this film. You know, yeah, it's a fantastic film. you know, it is romantic. It's a romantic love story. You know, it's, you know that going into it, but it's, you know, it's an epic film. You know, one of those kind of must sees, even if you just see it once. You know, it's a fantastic film. You know, beautifully designed. You know, all the set designs are wonderful. Direction, you know, acting. You know, I say he got the 11 Oscars, so it was, you know, won Best Picture. Yeah, it was a great film. So you can't really say much more about it. Sure, most people have got this in their collection. And like I say, if you know you like your 3D, highly recommend getting this one. I'd rather watch it in 3D than any other sort of format myself. Hey guys, hope you've enjoyed the closer look at the Titanic editions that I've got, and you know, a bit about the film, trivia, my thoughts, picture quality, all this kind of stuff. So it's you know, really lucky to have this edition. You know, it's a nice lenticular, and with that sort of magnet on the back, I think it really sort of enhances the edition. So yeah, really happy to have got that designed and produced. And as I say, this is, you know, it's a wonderful box set from sort of back in the day. You know, lovely presentation. Obviously, it got the VHS in it, and I'm never going to watch the VHS, but to have the overall package, it's a great addition to the collection. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.